program of Common Health Issues with Dr. Batson. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning, Mr. Samuel. Sir, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm great, man. Let me say, of course, thank you. Let me say a pleasant good morning to the listeners of Sky 99.5. Always a pleasure to be in your company. Today we have some good news. We have some excitement taking place. We actually have run our Mother's May promotion, and we'll actually be having the draw for that tonight because, of course, by popular demand, we're actually going to do an additional live this evening, and that live, of course, is going to be from 8:15 to about 9:30, 9:35. And the reason why we giving you that 15 minutes grace, for want of a better expression, is because we have some recordings to do before that. Of course, I would be joined by one of our senior consultants, Mr. Stefan Vialva, the quite competent and capable young man. And we're going to be answering your questions, discussing health, of course, from a natural and integrated perspective. So that is something, of course, to look out for. That is going to be on all our social media lives. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson Associates TT. On YouTube, we are Batson Associates Trinidad. And of course, on TikTok, which is subject to change, we have Dr. Batson. But we're going to change that. And of course, with that, what we will also be having as well so we're going to be giving 5 giveaways to those clients. Yeah, 5, yeah. So Shakil is opening his eyes, but I made that decision. It's going to be 5 individuals who would actually get products of a particular value at Batson and Associates. Is actually $1,000 worth of products at Batson and Associates, and there's going to be 5 lucky winners, and that would have been taken from persons who would have purchased in stores. So we actually took from all the offices and put them together, and we'll be doing that draw this evening, as I said. And in addition to that, is for any new individuals, new viewers who actually come on today, who actually, they're going to have to give me and remind me, it is share us, it's follow us, share us, and what's the other thing?
Follow us, share us, tag 5 friends.
Okay, follow us, share us, and tag 5 friends. Notice I had to ask Mr. Shakil that, right? So it is follow us, share us, and tag 5 friends. And to the persons who do that today, that is today, we'll actually be pulling 5 winners from that. And those 5 winners going to actually be able to win a complimentary package that we have. That's our executive package, which is going to be a live blood analysis, dry blood analysis, magnetic resonance analysis scan, complimentary food detox, and the executive consultation. So you can't beat that. And that's actually going to be 5 persons. So, those of you listening, that's why I make sure I came out the gate one time with it. Take advantage of that, because, at Batson and Associates, we always have to give back as well. And of course, those wonderful mothers, which we'll be doing that giveaway as well. That was for the Mother's May. So take advantage of that. Keep in mind our social media family and our social media handles. So we are Batson Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we're Batson Associates TT. On YouTube, we're Batson Associates Trinidad. And on TikTok, it's Dr. Batson. So follow us, share us, tag 5 friends. That's what you got to do. Okay, so with that being said, we're discussing health from a natural and integrated perspective. Let's help some people today. Keep in mind, of course, the program is an interactive program. So if you have any questions, anything that is concerning to you, listen to me. I worked Debe yesterday. I had a very nice day in Debe yesterday. I went down and I worked with Miss Roma and Miss Budram, Miss Budu, sorry, my apologies, Donna Budu, that is. And we had some walk-ins, we dealt with some clients with consultation and that type of thing. And, what I have to say is this, I am from old school. And the reason why I'm so glad for that, I was brought up by persons who are much older than I am, even older than my parents, because it was great-grandmother, grandfather, it was a kind of extended household, aunts, uncles, that type of thing. And I really appreciate that, because, it instilled a certain level of discipline and commitment to myself and, the people around me, because that's something I always try to, pass on to individuals, that level of having some discipline, some sort of consistency in anything that you do, whether it's, educational wise, or whether it's even from the perspective of exercise, spirituality, that type of thing. You have to have some sort of consistency and discipline in anything that you're doing in order to attain, a certain level of success in that particular field, regardless of whether you may have natural abilities as, whether it is intellectually intelligent, whether you have, certain sporting abilities, whatever the case may be. The greatest sportsmen, whether you're talking about football and you're talking about men like Messi, or athletics with men like Usain Bolt, tennis with Serena Williams, they had natural talent, and that was quite evident. But there was a level of commitment and consistency and discipline that was able to bring them to the level that they are at, and the level that they, when they were professionally participating in whatever their field is. So, I'm saying all of that to say that, where your health is concerned, try your best and do something where you're actually able to, have good health, or a certain level of good health. Because you see, you can practice medicine as a practitioner. And the thing is, my issue with, and that's why I didn't become a Western medical, specialist. I am not an MD. I always tell people that that's not something I hide. I am not an MD, nor do I carry a MBBS. And the reason for that, it was deliberate, simply because I found, had I done it before, if I was not well, then all well and good. I would just have to go and do integrative medicine afterwards, which would have been like maybe 15 or 16 years of study. I basically did bachelor's, master's, PhD, which encompassed 8 to 10 years of study, right? The point I'm making is that, I realized that I have to help people to now understand to take health care and not necessarily sick care. So what that means is, we're being proactive. We trying to don't wait until health goes from you, or good health leaves you, to try to get it back, because it's very difficult to get back. As a practitioner of natural and integrated medicine, I am fortunate enough to be blessed. I think naturally, because I tell people this is my gift, to able to help people. I would get clients, I would get patients, and no case is too difficult for me. If you come to me, the majority of the times, a lot of people wait too long to come to us, especially cancer patients, because I've successfully dealt with numerous persons with cancer. And I always tell people, again, I am not in the politics of medicine, and I have no intentions of getting involved in that at all. Whenever people ask me questions to try to bring me in that light, I shut it down one time, because I don't have time for that nonsense, right? I'm about getting people the results that they want, because at the end of the day, when you're sick, you are of no use to anyone. You don't feel good. You understand what I mean? You're miserable, and you don't want to be like that. Any well-thinking, logical human being would want to have some sort of level of good health. You understand? And it's not as hard as you think it is to achieve and to maintain. A lot of people think now, oh God, for you to be healthy, you have to stay away from this, you have to stay away from that. Yes, again, the word discipline comes in there. But you have to understand that, you could partake. I tell people 20%, 80%. 80% good nutrition, and 20% a little, you could eat a little fast food, a little fry something, yeah, you hit a little ice cream, a little cake, whatever the case may be. But you have to not do it in the reverse. So it can't be 80-20. So you can't be eating 20% sensible things, your greens, your nutrient dense foods, you're drinking your water, you're remaining properly hydrated, and then that's just 20%, and the next 80% is bad. And that's what a lot of people do, which is why they end up in those types of situations. So I was explaining to someone yesterday when I was doing a consultation, I said, you have to understand, when it relates to the body, anything in the body, if it is giving problems, it means that something is out of balance and it needs to be addressed. Yes, Miss Annabella Bass hit the nail on the head. She said moderation, discipline, and consistency. I take it. We had a copyright that girl. I taken that. So it's about moderation. You don't want to eat macaroni pie every day. You want to eat a fried chicken every day. You want to drink a soft drink every day. You want to be eating baked the cookies and no, you cannot do that. You cannot do that. And then some of you all might be smokers. People might know you smoke, you might hide and smoke. You might be a drinker. So the thing is, you cannot do everything that is bad and expect to have a good outcome. As I always tell people, Albert Einstein said it best. The only people who do the same thing over and over and expect a different result is mad people. That's the height of insanity. Right, so this morning, God's willing, let us see how best we could help some of you guys. It is an open forum, so take full advantage. I'm going to try and talk a little less and answer more questions for you guys. Keep in mind our contacts, our locations. We are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Chaguanas. That number for Chaguanas is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Debe is the corner of Ramsamud Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe. That telephone number for Debe is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. St. James is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That telephone number for St. James is 220-8113. That's 220-8113. And of course, Tobago, God's willing, I should be in Tobago from Monday, please God, to either Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. So those of you in Tobago could avail yourself of the consultation. Of course, we have everything set up in that office, the microscopes, whatnot. So you're getting your blood analysis, your magnetic resonance analysis scan, brand new spanking equipment you'll have there. So take advantage of it. And of course, we're going to be starting back actually doing what we were doing in Tobago at the level that we were doing it all the time. And I was just waiting for us to actually finish that office and put certain things in place. We still put in additional things in place because of the foot detox machines and those stuff with massages and all those things would be set up during the course of this month, right? So that number again for Tobago is 226-4553. That's 226-4553. And yours truly, Dr. Batson, is going to be there, as I said, Monday, Tuesday, and most likely Wednesday, right? Of course, I'll have a consultant with me there, and we will go we go in the distance, right? So we have some people to help the diabetics. If you know you get problems with pins and needles, cramping in your cars, burning on their feet, make sure you check yourself. Come give us a visit. If you have problems with your eyesight, because remember, diabetics, if you have diabetes and you're not as diligent as you're supposed to, I don't need to read and spell. You all know what I'm talking about. You just sneak and eat the little sweet thing in the night, and when you test the sugar, it's 400 in the morning. And then you say, well, I'll take an extra insulin, or you take, instead of one glucophage, you take 2 and 3. You know the madness all it is do, which you're not supposed to be doing. But, that's the people I'm talking to. So, you have to make sure that your eyes functioning properly, because when you have elevated blood sugar levels like that, it is going to damage your eyes. The retinal detachment, which is bleeding behind the eyes, the inflammation. Inflammation in diabetic eyes is almost a consistent thing with diabetes, right? So remember, we're not in the sick management business, right? We in the what? The reversal business. We in the getting people to understand that consistency, discipline, and as my good friend say, Annabella B, moderation is going to give you the results that you're looking for. Very, 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 very important. Miss Alicia, let me say a pleasant good morning to Alice Comerbat. She says, can you please remind me what you were recommending castor oil and black Jamaican castor oil? Not sure if the names are right for. Okay, good. So I'll answer Miss Alice Comerbat. I have made some recommendations regarding castor oil, right? Now, castor oil is a type of oil that has been used for centuries. It was used primarily a lot by the Africans, Egyptians, people in Benin, those type of nations. And the reason why castor oil was used so much is that castor oil has an ability as regards to the lymphatic system. You all know what your lymphatic system is, right? So your lymphatic system is actually one of your channels of elimination. Right, so we have 7 channels of elimination in the human body. We have kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. Now, basic biology will teach you that your lymphatic system is actually the system that significantly supports your cardiovascular system. Right? Now, remember, your cardiovascular system comprises of what? That's your veins, arteries, capillaries, heart, primarily. That's primarily a cardiovascular system. And of course, the heart, we know, is a complex organ as regards to, in terms of blood, is a hollow conical muscular organ. Where is that? It's situated obliquely in the thoracic cavity. Two-thirds of your heart lies to the right. Two-thirds of the heart lies to the left, I should say, sorry. One-third lies. So your heart is more to the left side, right? We know that. Of course, you have the various ventricles, left ventricle, then your auricles, that type of thing. As regards to the heart, then of course, major blood vessels, aorta, exiting, and then. So basically, that is your cardiovascular system, right? Now, your lymphatic system does not have a pump. Your lymphatic system depends on two things for proper functionality. It depends on water. The word that is a curse word to a lot of people, water or proper hydration, and it also depends on gravity. So those are the two things that your lymphatic system actually is dependent on. Now back to the castor oil. So what castor oil does is that when you put it in certain areas of your lymphatics, like if you put it, for example, to the where your lymph nodes located, which is basically all over, but primarily under your arms, because I recommend it for women, to prevent things like breast cancer is a very good thing to actually clean out the those fine nodules not nodules, those fine okay, I apologize for that. Where I am again, a little competition with somebody passing doing some advertising. So they're going to finish past just now. Right. So as regards to that, what it really does is helps to drain your breasts and literally clean the breast out. Because remember what it does, it helps with lymphatic drainage. Major lymph nodes are under your arms, which is why when women have breast cancer, which is something I'm not in agreement with, what they do is remove your lymph nodes. What you have to, and saying that, well, you have cancer in the nodes, which really don't make any sense. But at the same time, those lymph nodes are very, very important under your arms. So what that does is actually helps to clean the breast area out. It's also very good for men to use as well. So men listening, remember, I give you all a situation there. When you're doing the castor oil, is always good to mix it with a carrier oil, which primarily one of the better ones is coconut oil. You can use olive oil, but I personally don't, because I do it for myself. I don't like how the olive oil feels with the castor oil. I find it just feel better with the cold pressed coconut oil. So your ratio is 1 to 1. So if you're using 1 tablespoon to 1 tablespoon, maybe 1 tablespoon of coconut oil to 1 tablespoon of castor oil, you mix it and you heat it a little bit. Now, you're not heating it for it to boil and burn the oil, right? You're just heating it a bit so that it will be sort of warm to the touch, and then do your massage. Gentlemen, it is a very good thing to put very close to your prostate, between your leg, that kind of thing. What you could do, you could mix it and put a little bit on your skin and leave it overnight to see if you would have any reaction. But most people don't have reaction to castor oil. But it's always a good thing to check to make sure you don't have any bad reaction to it before you rub down, your family jewels there. Next thing is because you're in problems and you say Dr. Batson put you in trouble. But most persons don't have an issue with that. Same thing with women. You could actually, ladies, or you could apply it to your breast. You're just not putting it on your nipple. Very important. Don't put it on your nipples, but you could put on the whole breast itself, under your arms, and you could actually go under your arms and to your back, where where your shoulder blade is there, right? And you apply it. And you'll be surprised. It really, really does work. It's also a very good thing. What you could do too, in the night before you go and sleep, you take it and you rub it under the sole of your foot, put on some socks, and you go and sleep. It will help with circulation and those type of things. Easy way to help yourself. Okay, good. So that was the question from Miss Comerbatch. Let me say, of course, a pleasant good morning to our social media family. We have Miss Vidya Abdul, we have Miss Kathleen Ishbel, always a beautiful blessing. Same to you, my dear Miss Allison Rose. She says, Allison has a question, but I'll answer Allison's question just now. Ria Marcia Bruce, she says, good morning. Miss Marge Hills, good morning to you. Miss Annabella Bay, of course, good morning. Sharon Theodore, good morning to you. Allison Rose, against Miss Cindy Hoyt, good morning to you guys. Janelle Bartholomew. Miss Pamela Moses, of course, good morning to you, my dear. She says, good morning, Doc. Currently gone, but I'm not getting you on my phone. Oh, but I'm getting you on my phone, thank God, rather. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, so again, keep in mind our open clinic days. Those open clinic days, of course, every day from Monday to Saturday in those offices, Shogunas, Davie, St. James, we actually have a consultant present. Let me say, of course, a pleasant good morning to my continually hard-working team. And, I don't call anybody employees. I call them colleagues because I have a certain level of respect is respect and disrespect is just that, right? So to my colleagues, pleasant good morning to you guys. Of course, our senior consultants, Mr. Paul Green, Ms. Karishma Ramdan, Mr. Rene Bustamante, of course, Mr. Vialva. Mr. Vialva, as I said, will be joining me this evening. Very competent and knowledgeable young man, and doing really great things as regards to our clients. So, those telephone numbers again for the Shogunas office, that number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Davie is the corner of Ramsonwood Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Davie. That telephone number is 223-7515. Of course, St. James is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That telephone number for St. James is 220-8113. That's 220-8113. And of course, Tobago is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. That telephone number for the Tobago office. And of course, I'll be in Tobago this week, God's willing, is going to be 226-4553. 226-4553. So over to you, Mr. Carter, sir. You could remind the listeners of Sky 99.5, the necessary telephone numbers and WhatsApp. So if they have any questions, we'll be able to facilitate that for them this morning.
Be more interactive this morning as usual. Those numbers are 625-2759 or 624-7729. That's 625-2759 or 624-7729. And that WhatsApp number is 333-9950. Back to you, Dr. Batson.
Yes. So let's talk inflammation this morning, and I'll tell you why I decided to go back to speak about inflammation. And of course, there's a product we carry at Batson Associates called Inflammation Formula, quite popular, simply because it works, right? Now, inflammation is a natural response in the human body. It is referred to as inflammatory response. Now, there are certain chemicals in the body that are referred to as inflammatory chemicals. Example, prostaglandins, cytokines are two examples. Good. Now, the thing is, inflammation in the body is normal because it is actually an immune response. So once you have correct levels of inflammation in the body, you do have a problem. Good. It becomes problematic when the inflammation levels are higher than they're supposed to be. Good. There is a test that is normally done. Apart from the blood test that we do at Batson Associates, there's something known as an ESR, which is an acronym. E is for egg, S is for sunshine, R is for Russia, right? ESR. So it's referred to, or it is an acronym for erythrocyte sedimentation ratio. Now, that blood test is actually able to, because if you have high erythrocytes, are specific to the human body, and if you have it in particular amounts, when the sediments and it picks up, it is a particular ratio. So the normal ratio is anywhere between 0 to 20. Whenever you over 20, you are referred to as having autoimmune conditions, or you are more prone to autoimmune conditions. So what are autoimmune conditions? Autoimmune conditions are conditions where it is said that the body attacks itself. Now, I agree and disagree with that, and I'll explain. Simply because the body is not attacking itself. The body is doing what it is supposed to do. However, because of the high levels of inflammation in the body, it is doing it on a much larger scale than it is supposed to be doing it. And therefore, the body is not really attacking itself, but the body, because it has so much inflammatory response, it is doing more than it's supposed to. That's basically what it is, in the simplest form of explanation that I could give. Because me, I try my best that children could understand me when I speak, because it doesn't make any sense. I come on the radio and try and sound overly intellectual, or and when I alone understand what I say. That don't make no sense, right? We want people to understand the practicality of what we're saying and to be able to actually start to help yourself, because some people suffering unnecessarily, some people suffering because they're just hardened, and you're just, I don't know, you're closed-minded, you're narrow-minded, which is one of the worst type of minds. I tell people, mind works best when it is open. I can't remember who said that. I think it was Nelson Mandela or Mahatma Gandhi, some one of them. But it works. No, we're not saying that you're going to accept everything people tell you. But if you're open-minded, it means that you are open to dialogue. You're open to reasoning. So with that being said, let me go and say what it is I wanted to say now. Now, the thing is, you have different types of medicine. You have different types of doctors. You have different type of doctors for different circumstances and situations. So we have emergency healthcare professionals, which we know actually work in the emergency rooms. And let me tell you something, because I have actually a very good friend who's actually an emergency specialist. She operates out of London. She works, a very competent doctor. Good friend of mine. We actually went to school. And of course, we had disagreements in the beginning because of the type of medicine that I decided to use. But of course, now we're very good because she understands, because she's open-minded. She understands, and she said, Jason, she said, boy, I understand what it is you do. And in what it is I do, a lot of the times I try to help my patients to understand the importance of preventative medicine and taking care of yourself and that type of thing. So she understands that. But the point I'm making, emergency specialist doctors are some of the best doctors in the world, simply because they work under what type of situations? Emergency, strenuous. So it means they have to be quick on their feet, they have to be able to think, because at the end of the day, the slightest delay could cost you your life. So I talk about people when you're in accidents, if God forbid, sorry, you're going there with a gunshot wound or whatever. These doctors are trained to deal in these high stress situations. Excellent professionals. The point is, you need those doctors when you are what? In an emergency. You can't come by Batson and Associates. So that you come by me with a gunshot wound. You're crazy. I don't deal with that. Here's the hospital for you, emergency room you have to go. Because what? At that particular time, the physical body requires saving. So it have no nutrition there at that time. The nutrition comes in. My work coming now, when they finish, deal with you, the sew you up and thing, you deliver inside a day, you get your antibiotics, your blood thinners, they discharge you, then you have to come by Batson to finish fix you. My work now is to make sure that I do a protocol for you so that your body is going to heal 10 times faster than it would normally heal. And we can do that because we do sports nutrition, we do sports medicine, I do rehabilitative medicine. So that is when you'll understand the point I'm making. Different doctor for different circumstance. And that's why I tell people I am not in the politics. Don't come to me with that. And when I was talking about close-mindedness, let me give you a warning. And I say this without any fear, because I know it is a saying, and I tell them the truth. Medical doctors, as well trained as they are, and as competent as some of them are, should not give you any advice on medication or on supplementation and diet. I will say it again. They should not give you any advice on natural or anything that has to do with food and supplementation, because they do not know anything. And if some of them close-minded, because some of them very close-minded and quite dotish in my opinion, where they go and tell people, don't take this, and don't know what they're supposed to tell you. Hear what? I don't know about that. Get somebody who feel better than say, hey, go by Batson. And it's here on the radio. He don't sound like he too stupid. He little all right. He sound like he have a little bit of sense. Go and check it and let him tell you what to do. But don't tell people not to take cleanse and not to take detox and don't drink this and don't drink that and don't drink the other. Let me give you an example. There was a time I got a client who came to me. She had a cardiovascular problem. The doctors told her that she need heart surgery, how she have a mitral valve. I think when I really see the echocardiogram, I said, well, oh God, you win and dead. So she said, well, Dr. Batson, somebody tell me about you, whatever the case may be, boom, 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 boom. But when I went to my doctor, I asked my doctor if I should take CoQ10. You all know what CoQ10 is, right? CoQ10 is coenzyme Q10, right? That actually comes from something known as ubiquinol, which is a next. So it has a number of different advantages with that. It is a lot of antioxidants. It helps with rejuvenative stress. It helps with certain things, right? She said that the doctor tell her not to take that, So I said, well, why did they tell you not to take that? And this is the point I'm making. He or she should not have said that. What they should have said is, hey, listen to me, I don't know anything about that. I know about Plavex, Coreg, Concor, aspirin. That's what you know. So talk what you know. Do not speak what you do not know. So good. So she said, well, Dr. Batson, what do you think? I say, here, what we going and do here? You see that same coke you tend to tell you not to take? I telling you take it. But I'm going to tell you when to take it, what time to take it, how to take it. And I say, here, what you're going to do for me. Hush your mouth. Don't say nothing. Right? And you go and maintain your clinic. Trinidad and Tobago. And to all the other listeners, we have people from London, Michael and Don Ellis. Don Ellis, where I try to remember where you're from, and I think it's Austin, is Texas here. You could always remind me. We have Miss Jennifer Valentine. I know she's in Texas. We have Miss Nicola Hurd, she's Antigua. Always comes on and listen to us. Right. So the point I'm making, Trinidad and Tobago, the listeners of Sky 99.5, do you know that? And what I gave her, I told her to take therapeutic dose. So based on her circumstance, now this is in her circumstance, everybody's circumstance different. I say, here, what you're going to do. So she got the bottle, she called me, she said, Dr. Batson, I get the bottle. How are you taking this? I tell her, I had written it out before, but I told her to call me when she get it because I recommended like 2 brands. And each brand would have had to be used differently depending on the one that she would have gotten. Good? You all following me so far, right? So the brand that she got, it was saying to take 1 a day. So I told her, I said, no, you're going to take 3 a day for me, and you're going to take it with each of your meal. 1 with breakfast, 1 with lunch, 1 with dinner. And you're going to take that for me. Now, I gave her some other stuff to it, but you're going to take that for me for 3 months consistently. Take it for 3 months. Right? Now, remember, she go in cardiac clinic, so they check in, they do echocardiogram. Do you know that when the doctor did the next echocardiogram and they make a comparison of the echocardiogram before and the new echocardiogram, what do you think happened? You think she get improvement? Of course she's going to get improvement. Of course. The improvement was so significant, the doctor say, but what are you doing? Now, hear this, you give me medication for my heart situation, and I get better, and you asking me what you're doing. So what I'm telling you, one want to have a few things, right? Common sense make before book. So it either means that he don't really have no confidence in what he's giving her because the results that she get, he's surprised. And that circumstance I relate to y'all. This happened to a lot of my clients. Because you're not going to come by Batson and Associates, get information, follow it to the letter, and you're not going to get better. I am telling you, you are going to get some level of improvement. Your improvement depends on your level of consistency, discipline, moderation, as Annabella B put it, in addition to your pocket, because remember, we dealing with spending here, right? So I understand that. But that's why I tell people, if you think health expensive, try sickness, right? Astronomical results. Doctor impressed, He say, whatever you're doing, well, she bounce up a good one because, you get a cross with her, try to dig out and find out, wait is you're doing, and then bad talk it, which didn't make any sense because you now tell me I get improvement. So I'm saying all of that to say Trinidad and Tobago, to the listeners of Sky 99.5, you hear what the soca artists say. Drink water and do what? Mind your business. And that is a perfect example of why Dr. Batson, they say, he's not in the politics of medicine. I don't have time for that nonsense. And people go to call on my office and find out if I'm a medical doctor, and well, he's not a medical doctor. So I have no problem with that. I am quite competent in what it is I do. And I can help anybody who has a challenge and want to get better. But understand what I'm saying when I say I'm not in the politics of medicine. So kindly, please do not come to my office, take my products and carry by any doctor for them to tell you nonsense, for you to call back my office to talk nonsense to me. We will have a problem. So disqualify yourself one time if you know that is what you're going to do. I do not have time for that nonsense. Don't do me that. Right? Because we will not give you something that's going to interact with your medication. I am very, very well trained, and so are my consultants. I've been doing this 14 years plus. And they bring plenty people who's supposed to be dead now. And all of them are alive still. And that's not me trying to boast, but I'm letting you know the level of my competence and the people who work with me and understand when we talking straw, we talking straw. When we talking, what do they say, chalk and cheese? Can't compare chalk to cheese. Two completely different things. So do not let people pull wool over your eye and talk nonsense. You want to know about zinc? Call by Batson. You want to know if you could use coenzyme CoQ10, if you could use pignogenol, if you could use CMOS, how to use it, when to use it. That's what you need to do. Don't go and ask people who have no training in nutrition. They didn't even get a good month on nutrition in how much years they do a medical course to tell people nonsense about don't take this and don't take that, and it wasn't recommended by the FDA. That's the next thing. The Food and Drug, generally in the world, it is not their job to do what? It is not their job to authorize supplements. Supplements fall under a different category, completely different category. Supplements is considered food. And the Food and Drug Division, well, I know in the United States and a lot of other countries, Trinidad here, we is a different kind of story what we hear. Yeah, they need to work on that. But that is not what it is. So don't let nobody pull wool over your eye and fool you and talk a certain nonsense for you and tell you about do we use this. And you like a big, smart person, sit down there and you're dying when it has simple things that could help you. Imagine that. Look at the help you get just with CoQ10. As I said, it has some other things I put there, but I know why I give them the CoQ10 and I know how I give it to take. Because I knew the results that she would have gotten. And that is why I told her to use it for the 3 months. So I say all of that long story to help all you to understand. Do not go and ask people who are not qualified. Don't go by a tailor. Do not go by a tailor to ask him how to make bread. They will watch you something wrong with you, your head screw on wrong or something. The tailor know about sewing pants, shirt. You ask him about bread and how to make croissants. That is not work. He's not a baker. So these doctors know nothing about nutrition and should stay out of it. Stay out of it. Nothing annoys me when people come and talk that nonsense to me. I tell you, I'm going to blow you out very, very bad. You will need to be, you do not have to be my client. Don't stress me out with that. I don't have time for that. There was somebody came to me, you buy the whole sort of thing and come. You go on and carry by a doctor to show the doctor, and then the doctor tell you now how them thing ain't good. And you call in my office to talk nonsense. Bring back my product and them and take back your money and have a nice day. I know when you see a guy cold, go and blow your nose right which part you get it. Don't come back by me to help you. What they say, all they agree with me? Yeah, you're on stupidness. Don't waste my time. Don't do me that. Don't waste your time, my time, and your money. Once the product's thing, nothing was open, that kind of thing, you bring it back, we'll take it back. Because it will sell, believe me. Because we have to give you the results that you are, or the results that you're supposed to get. You have pins and needles cramping on your calf, your foot burning, you're feeling like pepper on your foot, and you just sit down there, muxy. You're taking the same thing over and over. You ain't getting better. I want to come and watch a big man like me and tell me that herbs don't work and vitamins don't work and this don't work and that don't work. You have to understand it's health care and not sick care. Don't let nobody fool you with that nonsense. You're taking a bag of tablets, 15, 16 tablets, and you sick since the founding of the world. You start off with diabetes, 2 years after you have high blood pressure, 3 years after that you have cardiovascular disease, 4 years after that your iron good, and then after that you're on a dialysis machine. And you want to talk nonsense to me? So that means you're in a stupid party. You stupid, the DJ stupid, everybody stupid. We're not stupid party, everybody stupid. Who in that party? That don't make no sense. If it is not working, it means that something needs to change. That's all I had to say. It needs to change. Because I can't look and then don't come and tell me about your mother had diabetes and the dog had diabetes and plant had diabetes and I come from a family, all of us, I still have people that be talking that foolishness. Stop it. Your mother have high blood pressure, your grandmother have high blood pressure, your aunt and them have a high blood pressure because all are doing the same nonsense. There is nobody in the set all here who exercising, who drinking water, who watching the meat intake, who think. Show me somebody in that family that doing something different from all you, and I am sure they do not have the hypertension. So don't come and tell me about we come from a hypertensive family. Nonsense you're talking. Because all they eat the same nonsense. Women, the daughters just learn what when the mother. Who usually just teach children to cook? My father teach me to cook. And my grandmother. My sister is my mother, teach my sisters and them to cook. Or my grandmother. So you understand? So you learn to cook where? So don't come now and tell me, well, you know, we come from a family and they just watch you. And you know, and when they're watching you to tell you that, when they're telling you that nonsense, they don't look at you in your face. You know why? Because they know they're talking nonsense. Don't do me that. Don't do me that. But all are we from a family with prostate? Well, if your father died from prostate cancer, your brother get it, your cousin get it. I mean, all you're doing the same foolishness. Nobody was doing anything different in the set. Genetic load the gun, lifestyle pull the trigger. You want me to repeat it for you? Genetics load the gun. Your lifestyle is going to pull the trigger. And I said that on our program Thursday when I was doing my afternoon program. I was talking about Napoleon Bonaparte. He came from a cancer family. I mean, there was allegations as to how he died, because what they were saying is, I think, is who it was by the British or somebody, they say poison him. Because you all know who he was and what he did, right? That was in general. He was one of the persons with the French Revolution and this type of thing, right? But he died, they're saying that he died from stomach cancer. And then when they check genealogy, I believe his mother had cancer. He had a brother or a sister or somebody who had cancer. And I think his grandmother had cancer. So that's what I'm saying. So you can have a genetic predisposition. I am not saying no. You know. Because if at the end of the day, we know what this produce offspring, right? Sperm and egg. So if the sperm bad and the egg's bad, you expect to have a proper child. We understand that. Which is why in families where they have a lot of incest and like we know the royals and all of them, like especially how much years ago, 18th century, 17th century and that kind of thing. Hemophiliac. You all know what hemophiliac is? Hemophiliac is people who just bleed. They're born with bleed disorders. So they're very easy to bleed. And that was a disease that was very high in the royal family. And not only British royal, but royal in general. And the reason for this is because of that incest and interbreeding. Once it is you're doing that, you're going to end up in problems because the gene pool is too small. Right? So think about it. So I'm saying, yes, there is some genetic predisposition. Nobody's saying no. But you have to understand it is now your responsibility to do better for yourself. Now, people just jump up and say, well, I had a friend and she used to eat healthy, she used to run, she used to drink plenty of water, and she fell down and dead. Okay. Do you have all the facts? You know the person's medical history. Are you a pathologist? You read the pathology report. You know what the person died from and why they died. You're behaving like a typical Trinidadian, talking things that you don't know. You don't know. You don't know. And I'm saying to you that you may have a genetic predisposition. It's just like size. It have young people, everybody big. But you do have big bones. I mean, your musculoskeletal system may have a little slight adjustment person to person. But your body, that fat, if it's your weight and you're overweight, you're obese. Don't say you come from a family and everybody big. Oh yeah, everybody big, all eating the same thing. Show me somebody who's doing something different in that set, and I guarantee you that they do not have the same symptomology. They do not have it. Because our symptomology is a result of a greater problem. Okay? Nice. So with that being said, I hope I'm frightened. If you have any questions regarding Batson and Associates, feel free to give me a call. If you have any questions regarding your health, whether it's hypertension, diabetes, whatever it is, feel free to give us a call and let us hear from you. So, Mr. Carter, sir, I will allow you to give the audience the telephone numbers again, and let's go. If there's no questions, then I'll just continue.
All right, those numbers are 625-2759 or 624-7729, and that WhatsApp is 333-9950. We actually have a couple questions here.
Nice. Let's go.
I've been to Dave. Dave wants advice and tips for stroke recovery patients.
Okay, nice question, man. Stroke recovery. But he doesn't know what type of stroke it is, whether it's a hemorrhagic or a ischemic stroke. Okay, so you really have two types of stroke fundamentally. I mean, there are others, but in the general sense of what strokes are, which is ischemic stroke, which comes from the word ischemia, which means that you would have had an interruption in blood flow to the brain. And as a result of that interruption, we know blood is responsible for transporting what? Oxygen and nutrients to your cells. So it means your brain would have been deprived, or a certain area of the brain would have been deprived of oxygen for a period of time, and that would have resulted in what is known as an ischemic stroke. Then you also have strokes which are known as hemorrhagic strokes, and hemorrhagic comes from the word hemorrhage, which means to bleed. So if you have a hemorrhagic stroke, it means that there is interruption of blood, but interruption of blood as a result of a hemorrhage. Those are very dangerous strokes to get because they can be fatal. Most people get ischemic strokes. In terms of rehabilitating a stroke patient, you're going to have some sort of physiotherapy is going to be needed. I always advise, if it is, you could get a physiotherapist to come home at least twice for the week. That is going to help. In terms of circulation, you want to improve that person's circulation. So there should be some sort of dietary or supplemental protocol that includes proper circulatory function. And of course, that's systemic circulation, which is below the heart, pulmonary circulation, which is above, and peripheral circulation, which is circulation in the extremities. So products we carry at Batson and Associates that's going to help that circulation. Inflammation formula is a very good product. I have a lot of stroke patients using that. That's going to help as well. Very soon we will be having our cardiovascular center, because that's going to be going in Londonville, where we'll be dealing with cardiovascular. There's also going to be cardiovascular weight loss, that type of thing. So they have specific therapies that we're going to be doing there that is going to help for the rehabilitation of stroke patients and that type of thing. With a stroke patient as well, you need to do some sort of exercise with them. It's very bad when you have gotten strokes to not. And I know that happens a lot with persons. Sometimes the family situation, you may not have sufficient finances to actually bring in a healthcare or a caregiver, and then everybody at work, and sometimes they're home by themselves, so they don't get that mobility as you would like. Because remember, if depending on the type of stroke you get and the part of the brain where the stroke is, it will affect different things. It will affect vision. It would affect certain things as regards to that, because of which area the stroke was which area the stroke affected, right? Because depending on the part of the brain, it could affect sight, it could affect hearing, it could affect mobility. There are some people who get strokes and they're fortunate. They can walk still, they can talk still, cognitive function is there, thank God. However, what I always tell persons with stroke is that if you have had a stroke, because there's something known as a TIA. T is for traffic, I is for ink, and A is for apple, right? TIA, and it stands for transient ischemic attack, which is referred to by medical professionals as a mini stroke. Now, you usually find persons who have gotten strokes, when they do brain CT scans, they do MRIs and those type of things, it actually picks up ischemic lesions. What is a lesion? A lesion is like a cut or a mark. So what these scans are able to see is that they actually see that you had lesions there, which would have been after effects of mini strokes. So most people, especially people who suffer from things like dementia, people who have Alzheimer's, people who have Parkinson, a lot of research has shown that when they do CT of the brain, you actually realize that they have ischemic scars. So, and that's why I always tell people, when you have diseases that interfere with cognitive function, so strokes, things like vascular dementia, things like Alzheimer's, things like Parkinson. No Parkinson patient has good circulation to the brain. Once you have Parkinson, you have a problem with poor circulation to your brain. Those neurons are not getting fed properly, And once the neurons or the central nervous system is affected, it means that once your neurons are not being fed properly, they're not getting proper circulation, they're not having that proper synaptic response. You all remember when we do biology in school, they talk about synapses and that synaptic response that takes place between the nerve endings and all. If you're not getting that, eventually you're going to lose a number of functions, cognitive function, different functions associated with memory, sight, and that type of thing as a result of that. Very, very important. Okay, so the circulation tea is something that would help. Keep in mind the physical activity. If you could get them, to take them to do like massages, especially chiropractic massages, those type of massages, that would help. God's willing, when we also do, because that's going to be our osteoarthritis center as well. We're going to be doing all of those things. I'm hoping, God's willing, we should do it by the end of July for the latest. We should have everything set up there, God's willing. Okay. Next question, Mr. Carter.
All right, Dr. Batson, what is acid reflux and how does one treat it, and what do you have at the store that can actually help you resolve this?
Okay, good question. We carry a gastro tea, which is very impressive, like real impressive. It's actually a tea to help with the gastrointestinal system. We also carry a product called Digestive Restore, which we have in stock. Digestive Balance, we were having some issues with that. So that, God's willing, we're going to get that actually the end of next week, God's willing. Those are some of the things. Santulan is also very good as well. Santulan is a 7-channel detox that cleans and detoxifies kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. So it's a very good product for acid reflux. So to the question, what is acid reflux? The next question. Acid reflux is basically, medically, you might be diagnosed with what is known as GERD. Again, we're dealing with plenty of acronyms this morning. So G is for go. E is for egg, R is for run, and D is for David. So GERD, which stands for gastrointestinal reflux disease. Right? So what that means is that you actually have stomach acid that is coming up from the stomach and going back up into the esophagus and causing problems. So it means that it is a situation where you're going to have and this applies to people, when you say you find you always have a funny taste in your mouth, like in some cases you might have a metallic taste in your mouth, or you might find your mouth always dry, or you find your mouth always feeling funny. Usually that's early signs of acid reflux problems, because how that stomach acid comes back up in the esophagus, it causes problems. There's also something known as a hiatus hernia, which is when, long time they used to say you have NARA, right? Your butcher drop, they say. But medically, what it is really happening is that there is a door that closes off the esophagus from the stomach. That is referred to as the esophagus sphincter. So it is supposed to close, but what happens with people who have hiatus hernia, which is a structural damage, you need to get somebody to put that back in place. It means if you have that, the door remains slightly ajar, so it's slightly open. Excuse me, and stomach acid actually comes back up and it causes a whole host of problems that you don't want, because you can actually end up with stomach ulcers and that type of thing. But we carry a number of products. As I said, we have the gastro tea, Digestive Restore, Digestive Balance. We also have what is known as the inflammation formula is also very good. The Santulan is also very good as well. The Alkagen water that we carry, premium alkaline water, pH 8.8 up to 9.5, very good for stomach problems and that type of thing. So you could always ask for the telephone numbers. That telephone number again, the show corner's office is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Debe is the corner of Ramsonwood Trace and the SS Erie Main Road in Debe. Please remember, of course, that promotion that we have this evening. You can like us on or join us on our social media. Remember to follow us, share us, and tag 5 friends, right? So with that, you could actually be a perfect candidate to win some things from Batson and Associates. And we will be doing that program tonight. That's going to be tonight from 8 to 9:30. I'll be joined by Mr. Stefan Vialva, who's one of our senior consultants at Batson and Associates. And, you could take advantage of that. Miss Chandra Sanka is actually asking the question, what about What about like a bitterness in your mouth? Yeah, same thing. All those are signs of gastrointestinal imbalance. Anytime you see your mouth have a funny taste in it, I mean, when I say that, this is something that happening regularly. It doesn't, so regardless of what you eat, when you finish eat, you drink your water, you find your mouth either have a metallic taste, it has a bitterness, it has a excess dryness. That is problems with your stomach. You need to get some of your alkagen water. You need to get Santulan, but Santulan is a 7-channel detox. And people who should not use Santulan are as follows. One, if you do not drink water, please, if you know you don't drink water, do not come and buy Santulan and go and take it. You're going to get breakouts. You're going to get buttons. Why? You need to be drinking your body weight divided by 2 in ounces for the last 12 to 8 weeks. So what we normally recommend for clients is that you do the water, you get the alkagen water, do the alkagen water. You could also do like maybe liver tea, or you could do like one of the greens formulas that we carry. So we start to do like a cooling for you know. Get the body open up, clean up the pores, start a thing, waste start to leave your body, that kind of thing, and then you hit the Santulan. And the reason for that is we do not want you to end up in what is known as healing crisis. The next people who should not use Santulan just like that, excuse me, are persons who are anemic. What is anemia? Or an anemic individual is an individual who has a low blood count. If you have low blood count, you cannot use cleansers. We have to do work for you. We have to build you up. We have to get your body in a certain order, and then you do cleansers. I'll also advise persons to, in general, even when you're doing your home cleanse, like you might want to juice a little celery, some cucumber, those type of things. Do not take cleanses like that if you are not hydrated. I'm telling you, you are going to end up very, very sick. That is going to go into your organs and cause a lot of problem because of the amount of toxins you have in your body. And you know yourself, you cannot be somebody who just drink water and want to go and take clean out. You're crazy. You're going to damage your skin. You're going to get breakouts. Your nice skin, you're going to spoil. Buttons all on your face, all on your back, and all this type of thing. Women, if you have really bad hormonal imbalance and you go and take a cleanse, your period going to be 20 times worse. You have to properly hydrate. We have to get things moving inside of there, fix it up, and then get to your parents long time before they give you purges. What they used to do? You used to get what? Cooling. You remember cooling long time? You get the bird, they take a hop spread and they burn it, they put it in a mug of water, and you drink that for 7 days, or you get a little piece of aloes, 9 days of aloes. Now, aloes is a good thing, but I tell people, I don't know how you're using aloes. Aloes could make you end up in the hospital. And that sometimes is what give natural medicine a bad name. But you all have to understand, in everything, there is what? Measurement. Measurement is important. Sorry about it. Yeah, so measurement is very, very important. Very important. Doria, all right, it's just right. Yeah. Don't worry. Sorry. That's smoothie I drink this morning. So I think maybe the right. Yeah, that's the oats or something there. Sorry about that. Yeah. So as I was saying, measurement is very, very important. And that is one of the reasons why you find when you're using things, so like if you're using charcoal, if you're using ginger, those type of things, you find that you must know the measurement that you're using, right? So I was saying all of that to make the point that you have to hydrate the body. You have to get certain things going before you actually take cleanses. Because I'll give you an example quickly. There was a time I had a client, and what happened to them, they had a problem with the gallbladder. So I said, what happened to your gallbladder? Say they went to the doctor, and all of a sudden the gallbladder became inflamed. So I see your gallbladder do come inflamed just like that. So wait till you did. So then she ended up saying, she said, boy, to tell you the truth, I end up going on a cleanse program. And on the cleanse program, I did certain things. So they had a juice in like carrots and beetroots with celery and, a number of things. And when she started using it, she said that she realized her skin started to get dark. I say, skin started to get dark. She said, yes. I said, but how much water you was drinking? And she started to laugh. She said, well, Dr. Batson, I was here on the radio quarreling about water, but I really don't drink any water. So you all saw what happened there? So because she started to take the cleanse and she wasn't properly hydrated, the gallbladder, which would have most likely had some problems before, it must have little gallstones and stuff. But because of that detoxification not being done properly in a properly hydrated body, they end up with a gallbladder. I know it happened to persons with the thyroid. They started cleanses and all of a sudden the neck just swell up big like that. And the reason for that is because they were not what? Hydrated. Very, very important. So that's to let you guys know exactly where that is. Okay. So with that situation, you all don't worry, you're good, man. So that's something that you need to pay close attention. Make sure and get that hydration in. If you know you're a person who do not like water, start to practice. You could put a little bit, you put a little lemon water, you could get some fruit you like. Now, you don't want too much fruits because you don't want the water too sweet. So you could cut up like, you take a little piece of apple and put it in the water, or you could use a piece of ginger, but little piece, right? I'm talking about like maybe an inch or something like that, to get you into actually drinking the water. Very, very important. Okay. Now I know our time, Mr. Carter, we are finishing in the next 2 minutes, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, good. So let me just quickly let the audience know. So again, keep in mind that live that we're having tonight, that is going to be taking place tonight, or this evening rather, I should be saying, from 8 to 9:30. Good. I'll have joining me Mr. Stefan Vialva, who is one of our senior medical consultants. And that is, of course, going to be question and answer. Keep in mind that you could actually win some giveaways that we're having. We'll be doing the giveaway for our Mother's May, where all those entry forms were collected from all our offices. So we'll be doing that. That's going to be 5 lucky winners that we have, which is going to be $1,000 each in products from Batson Associates. So you're going to get yourself some nice things there to help you feel better, look better, maybe a little longer. And of course, to the persons who actually now follow us, share us, and tag 5 friends, you have the opportunity to win. And those are going to be the executive packages that we have at Batson Associates. So tell everybody, tell your friend, tell somebody who you know, because I know there are a lot of persons who know about Batson Associates, but sometimes it's the money, right? They say, well, Dr. Batson, I don't really have the money right now, or whatever the case may be. And we can understand that, all of us came out of COVID, so we know what that did to a lot of us, right? So, that's something we appreciate and we respect. We also have our pension package as well. So take advantage of that. So you can like us, follow us, share us, tag 5 friends, and that's on our Facebook. We are Batson Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson Associates TT. On YouTube, we Batson Associates Trinidad. And on Instagram, it is Dr. Batson. So to the listeners of Sky 99.5, I'm sorry I didn't have an additional hour with you guys today. I hope I didn't buff anybody too loudly, but I hope you all understand exactly the point I was making. Do not go to a tailor to find out how to make bread, right? Stop doing that. Good. So as we always say at Batson Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. Okay, God bless you guys. To the listeners of Sky 99.5, remember tonight, or this evening rather, from 8 to 9:30, it's Batson Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, it's Batson Associates TT. On YouTube, it's Batson Associates Trinidad. And on Instagram, it is Dr. Batson. I think I get everything correct there. Right, got telephone number for the Shogunas office, 222-8261. That's 222-8261. And you can WhatsApp us on 314-9975. Mr. Carter, sir, thank you for your time. And do enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Till next week, God's willing.
Yes, you will. Take care. Bye-bye.
For the best healthcare experience, Dr. Batson and Associates. They are specialized consultants in that record.
Yes, guys. So
actually answer one question?
Of course, no problem. I think I have some questions here. Okay, Ms. Dawn Ellis. Ms. Dawn Ellis asks, what are you doing for us overseas clients? Or are these for clients who visit the offices and live in Trinidad? Smile. Oh yes, that's true. Oh my goodness gracious. No, I could actually do something for our international clients too as well. You know? Okay, so here we're going to do. Oh gosh, should I read this on the radio? What we're going to do for the international clients, boy?
Our answer will be presented tonight.
Yes, I'm not going to say. So, Ms. Ellis, thank you so very much for that excellent question, because I know with our international clients, Ms. Pamela Moses say I done like, share, and tag my 5. She said, Doc, I already sent more than 5 people by you, so I done win. Oh my goodness gracious. I love that. I love that. I hear you, darling. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I will make sure that you get advantage with for that you get something, because one of the things we will be doing when we actually start our therapy center, where we're going to be doing a lot of therapies, you know, that is something I'm going to take full advice with you all. Cindy Hoyt says, yes, Doc, I agree with Don Ellis. Okay, I miss all of that, boy. Okay, guys, so I'm going to make sure and do that for you. But tonight, I'll let you all know what I'm doing for you all, because, you know, our international clients always support us. They're always there. They always recommending persons, sending people. Thank you so very much for that. So keep in mind, again, our Instagram, we're Batson Associates TT on Instagram. On Facebook, we are Batson Associates Trinidad.
No, on Facebook, we are Batson Associates
Limited. Oh, what's going on with me today, boy?
On YouTube, we are Batson
Associates Trinidad. Right. Okay.
TikTok, we are
Dr.Batson.
Which is subject to change.
Good.
Yeah.
So Facebook is Batson and Associates Limited. Instagram is Batson and Associates TT, and YouTube is Batson and Associates Trinidad, and Instagram is Dr. Batson. Yeah, I don't know how I mixed it up there. Right. Yeah, so
That's fine.
Cindy Hoyt say I beat everybody. Cindy, why so? Don't worry, I'll make sure I get something for you guys. I promise you that. All right, my dear. So God bless you guys. Do enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And of course, we have that live tonight. It's going to be a very interesting live. I have, as usual, the very competent, you know, consultants who work with me. I have Mr. Vialva, who's going to be with us tonight. No shy of I had Mr. Green last week, who was awesome. You know, God has blessed me with a good team. It took me some years to do it, but thank God. Okay, guys, so you all enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Remember, not too much macaroni pie. Have a little salad on that plate. God bless you guys. Be safe and join us this evening, where we will be on our live, and that's Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, it's Batson and Associates TT. On YouTube, it's Batson and Associates Trinidad, and on Instagram, it is Dr. Batson.
And no, TikTok is Dr. Batson.
TikTok is Dr. Batson.
But guys, stay tuned to our draw, which is going to be very entertaining for those winners. And by the way, our international clients, we didn't forget you. So stay tuned for what Dr. Batson is going to say.
Yeah.
You really don't want to miss it.
Definitely. See, the I'd say all my Trini family come there, brothers, aunties, nieces, friends. Too many to mention. That's so true, my dear Cindy. And thank you so very much for that. I hope all is well with you, and we are going to be in touch, right? Sharon, Becky, say I won already. Much better. If I don't like all, there's something wrong, right? God bless. Remember those telephone numbers and locations. Next week, I am in Tobago. So Monday, Tuesday, and should be Wednesday, I would be in Tobago. So those of you in Tobago, take full advantage of that Tobago number. Again, it's 226-4553. That's 226-4553. And of course, our WhatsApp for Tobago is that, no, our WhatsApp for the Trinidad office, head office, is 314-9975. So take care, guys. God bless. We're gonna answer. This is who? This is Ronell Devines is asking cost of visit. So Ronell, that telephone number, the 226-4553, because I already called cost on the radio. I only said how much those persons would have win based on the value of what it was, right? And they will give you that. Okay. Thank you, guys. God bless. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.